The title today, The Vibration of Words. Last time I talked about raising your vibration, like raising your spirit, growing, developing. And but then actually the words are very important for us to grow. And words have a vibration, have an energy, like everything has an energy. So I was inspired to look into this topic because we use words all the time. I'm using words now. You're listening to words. Every Sunday is about words. So I would like to look at God's words. Didn't work. Didn't work.
God's word didn't work.
Maybe we go back to the old version.
I try to study about it later. Okay. Jag försöker göra det. Hur kan gå dit? Nej? Okej.
Använda andäktigt. Guds word.
Ja.
Okay, so the words so we're all here because of God's word, is that right? You need God's word?
Yes.
Do you read God's word?
Yes.
Do you speak God's word?
Yes.
Do you listen to God's word?
Yes.
Do you write God's words?
Yes.
Do you sing God's words?
Yes.
Yeah, so actually words can be used in different ways. So I would like to begin by looking at God's words and what Father said in the Chanson Gong book. He said this: God began the creation with the eternal and unique word. You know? And he wanted Adam and Eve to fulfill the purpose of his word, their bodies becoming temples where he could reside substantially forever. So Adam and Eve should have followed God's words. They should have become temples of God, their mind and body united, their mind guided by God's words, following God's words, living by God's words, and being substantially representing God as a substantial object partners of God. So God's word we need for our mind, yes? The human mind has three faculties: intellect, emotion, and will. The human body acts in response to the commands of the mind. So if we have a strong mind, it's easier for our body to unite. When the body responds to the mind's intellect, emotion, and will, its actions pursue the values of truth, beauty, and goodness. I like those words: truth, beauty, and goodness. So our intellect, the thinking part, what is it searching for? It's searching for truth, because truth is what the mind needs. And our emotion is searching, with our feelings, we're searching for beautiful things. Like if you look at a flower, your emotions are stimulated by the beauty of that flower. And the will is searching, the will to do, is to do good action, goodness. So we are meant to be people of truth, beauty, and goodness, because that's how our mind is, and that's what our mind wants. God is the subject partner of the human mind. Hence, he is also the subject partner to human intellect, emotion, and will. Desiring to realize his original value, a person responds to the perfect intellect, perfect emotion, and perfect will of God through his mind, and acts accordingly through his body. Thus, he manifests the values of original truth, original beauty, and original goodness. So this is God's word. This is how our mind is meant to be, and how our body responds, unites with our mind, and how we become like a reflection of God's nature and a temple of God. So this is another way to look at it, because actually the center of God's mind is the heart, and the center of our mind is our heart. So the heart is this impulse, this irrepressible impulse to love and be united in love with the object of its love. That's the most important part of our mind and God's mind. Because God created out of love from his heart. So that's the same with us. And the intellect, as I said, the intellect, the thinking part, pursues truth. Emotion pursues beauty, and will pursues goodness. This is what we should be seeking every day of our lives. And then, God gave us words to express truth, beauty, and goodness. So when we use our words, we should be expressing truth. We should be expressing beauty and expressing goodness. So the ideal is that a mind is a subject, the body is the object. We become temples of God, and we unite the mind and body through true love. But because of the fall, we experience conflict within ourselves, where the mind and the body both become subjects, fighting with each other. So that is our contradiction. That's why God's Word gives us the ideal, but also explains what is wrong with us, what is wrong with humanity. Why are we fighting within ourselves and with each other? Because of this basic disharmony between mind and body. And through restoration, this is where we need to do spiritual practices to strengthen the mind. To strengthen the mind is the best way to unite the mind and body. The best way. So, words have energy, as I said. So, we can have, there are many positive words and many negative words. So, I'd like to inspire you first with the positive words. And when I say these words, do you feel them? Because words have an energy and a vibration. So you should be able to feel the energy of these words when you see them. Truth. Do you get an image or a feeling within yourself? Beauty. Do you picture something? Goodness. Love. Gratitude. Joy. Freedom. Peace. So when you look at those words, or you hear those words, you feel something. So obviously, the words I'm using, there's a vibration, and you're picking up that vibration. It's having impact upon your mind, upon your heart, upon your intellect, upon your emotion, and upon your will. So, would you like to see some negative words? No. So there's a resistance, you see. So I'm going to anyway show them to you because we all experience these negative words as well. Oh. Falsehood. Yeah. Ugliness. Evil. Hate. Complaint. You picture them in your mind, you feel them? Sadness. Slavery. War. Conflict. So we live in a world of both positive and negative words. If we use positive or negative words ourselves, we give out an energy and a vibration that others can pick up. So if I say, I won't say it to you, if I say, I hate you, if someone says that to you, you feel it. On the other hand, if they say, I love you, I feel it.
Yeah.
So words, yes.
In America, they say, I love you all the time. It doesn't mean anything.
Of course, if you say words, but they're not from your heart, they're not with emotion, if they're not sincere, of course, they're hollow words. But, so we can use words, and we can say many things and not do what we say. So there's the other aspect of saying things, not doing it and not meaning it. You can lie. It's another bad word. But in essence, these good words, if we say them with sincerity and we mean them, they have value. They have an emotional strength. So this person I'm quoting, I just found it on the internet. He's a Greek thinker. He's not someone that I've known of, but he says something important. He says, the words we choose to use when we communicate with each other carry vibrations. The word war carries a whole different vibration than the word peace. The words we use are showing how we think and how we feel. The careful selection of words helps to elevate our consciousness and resonate in higher frequencies. So, you know, in my school, I have a reputation because I'm always saying thank you for your hard work. And I do it because I feel teachers work very hard and they need to be appreciated, and I feel we maybe don't appreciate each other enough. And so I said to this teacher the other day, as I was walking by, I said, thank you for your hard work. Oh, it was so nice of you to say that. It made me feel so good. So of course I'm doing it because I want to lift people up. But it's like I see the impact. Just those words. Thank you for your hard work. Has anyone ever said that to you recently? If someone said words of appreciation, you feel it. And I think we need to be more conscious. It says here, elevate our consciousness, resonate in higher frequencies, because words are very important. How do we use words? Well, we hear words, we speak words, we sing words, we read words, and we write words. Of course, singing, you could say speaking, but it's slightly different vibration. So we use these all the time. So words are very important. This is how we communicate. Yeah? Because in the spirit world, we understand you can communicate with your thoughts. You don't need to talk. But on this earth, this is our means of communication. And we're surrounded by words. And even more today with the social media and 24-hour TV. And you know, it's like constant. We're bombarded with words. So, words resonate with our heart. If our words are connected to our heart, to our emotion, to our intellect, to our will, the whole package, then words mean something to us. So, in my childhood, I am very lucky. I feel the second generation and young people today have missed something very, very valuable. Because when I was at school, in primary school in the 1960s, every school, because of the 1944 Education Act, every school had to begin the day with an act of daily worship. So we gathered in the school hall, we sang Christian hymns, we recited aloud the Lord's Prayer, we received a message, could be a Bible story or some moral story, and we received a lot. So Jesus' words are part of my vocabulary. There are these words here, I know them off by heart because I learned them as a child, because I learned them over and over again. So, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. When I say that, I feel it. Yeah? You can't live by bread alone. I said it as a child because it was impacting upon me, because it was meaningful. Every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. It's not enough just to have lots of money, lots of food, lots of possessions. We need God's word. Because I learned that as a child, that stayed with me. So it's helped me to have a kind of help my values and understand what's important in life. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbour as yourself. What beautiful words. Beautiful words. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. Yeah, I know all these words, because I learnt them when I was a child. Simply because I was around when this was normal. And I think in Sweden and in Germany and other countries, I don't know about Japan, did you have any kind of moral education or Japanese religions?
Yes,
Yeah. I mean, in Japan, when you were a child, did you receive a lot of kind of internal? Yeah. Is it still happening now?
I hope so.
You hope so. So, prayer. So I said, by the way, do any of you know Put your hand up if you know the Lord's Prayer. How to say it. Oh, there's some young people. I know one young person, one person. Oh, 2 people, okay. So the Lord's Prayer, we recite it every single day, 5 days a week, aloud, in unison, with everybody. And then I went home and I remember saying it aloud myself and feeling the words. So, Our Father who art in heaven, this is the version I heard. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, meaning sins, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. So I remember this, reciting it. And when I came here and I started teaching Sunday school, I realized how children don't know this. Yeah? And actually didn't know the Bible so much because, of course, we're a new movement and we study the principle in Father's words. But I felt, because I come from a background of Christianity and I heard many Bible stories and Jesus' words, it was like in me already. So it's the foundation for me to be able to receive new words of truth. Yeah? And then, when I went to bed at night, I said this prayer. Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, bless the bed that I lay on. 4 corners to my bed, 4 angels round me spread, 1 at the head, 1 at the feet, and 2 to guard me while I sleep. It's like gives you a feeling of protection and security when you go to bed. So then, also other words that resonate with my heart. Do you know there's an expression that goes with this picture? Do you know what it is? Every cloud has a silver lining. So the idea is, you may have troubles, but there's also always something good going to happen. It's not going to last forever. Every cloud has a silver lining. And actually these, like you could say, proverbs, sayings in English, was another way to teach children about what is important, what is good, what is bad, and how to be. Your attitude, Every cloud has a silver lining. Practice makes perfect. Don't give up. I still say this to the students I teach. Practice makes perfect. You may not be good at it now, but if you work at it, you'll get better. And I say to them, I said to them this week, if you don't like reading, read. If you don't like writing, write. Yeah? If you don't like doing something, you do it, because then you'll get better. Otherwise, you'll be hung up with this your whole life. Work at it. And then, variety is the spice of life. Oh, I like that. So, but I can make my life, variety means it's kind of interesting, it's different, it's changeable, new. Variety, I like that. So again, it was another expression I've taken with me all my life. Variety is the spice of life. I must, I can, I will. I'll tell you a story. You know this test of strength? With your arm, you can try somebody, seems stronger. I remember at school doing this. And, you sit at a table, like this, yeah, and who can win? And I remember saying, I must, I can, I will, I must, I can, I will. And I succeeded because of that strong mind. Because of those words gave me strength. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's another one. Don't give up. And the story of the tortoise and the hare?
Yeah.
Yeah. The tortoise was very slow. Slow and steady wins the race. He doesn't give up. Yeah. So words resonate with our heart. And what about songs? We've been singing songs today. We can sing songs and be somewhere else in our mind. But if we sing songs and we can feel the words, they have a lot of power and a lot of meaning. So you can sing songs really from your heart, and you can spiritually be lifted up. That's why we sing. We sing to lift our spirits up, prepare our hearts to receive. So there is a song. Have you heard of the When the Red Robin? So when I was a young member and I was fundraising, we had a team leader called Sarah. Sarah, Sarah, anyway, her name is Sarah. I can't remember her last name. And we were fundraising, and then at the end of the day, we were driving home, and we fell asleep. Yeah? But she didn't fall asleep. And when we arrived, she always woke us up with this song. So I'm going to sing you this song. Because it made me feel good. When the red robin comes bobbing along, there'll be no more sobbing when he starts singing his own sweet song. So wake up, you sleepyhead, get up, get out of bed, cheer up, the sun is red, live, love, laugh and be happy, ha 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 ha, hee 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 hee, oh. So you know, I always remember that. It made me feel good. And I thought, what a great team leader she was. Sarah. Her mother's called Gwyneth. Because Sarah, I just can't remember her name now. And then, I can see clearly now the rain has gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds hanging over me. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. I sing that many times. Hey, did you ever hear me sing that song?
All the time.
Yeah. Because it lifts me up, you know. I love to sing. If I'm singing, it's a good sign. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. My oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. Yeah. I play a game actually in my class sometimes. It's called Keep Your Cool. Tell everyone to stand up, put your hands behind your back, face the front. And I say, this is called Keep Your Cool, do not smile. Of course, when I say don't smile, they start to smile. But I sing. The song I sing is, oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day, and so on. See? So, words have impact. I can see my words and my singing is impacting upon you. Because I'm creating a vibration and energy which you're part of. Okay, so what about words to heal? I talk about positive words, uplifting words, but because we are fallen people, because we are the result of history, because we have fallen habits, and we have ancestral sins, ancestral problems, which we inherit, we have to deal with that as well. Whether you've inherited it from your parents or your grandparents or whoever. And so if I look at my own children, and you look at your own children or your brothers and sisters, or, you know, we're all different. We all have different issues. We're not all the same. And sometimes you think, where did that come from? You know? Yeah, it maybe came from me or from my wife, or did it come from my father or my mother? But we're all kind of got issues. And we don't know. Some things were just stuck in us, or we want to release them. And it's hard, yeah, because we've inherited things. It's hard to identify what the problem is. So this lady, Morrnah, she lived between 1913 and 1992, and she was from Hawaii. And she was a native Hawaiian kahuna. A kahuna is like a person who had a bit like a priest, or a person who possessed a lot of wisdom or had certain kind of secrets, and I think she was spiritually quite open. And she was a gifted healer, and she developed a new system of healing based on the ancient spiritual tradition Ho'oponopono. You've heard of Ho'oponopono?
Yes.
Yes. It means to kind of put right or correct. And so the traditional Ho'opono, before she came along, was trying to solve family problems, where the whole family would gather together, they would express what their feelings, and they would learn to forgive each other. So it's a bit like to heal family problems. Yeah. So, but what she did, she updated it. She did something quite remarkable, because she said that rather than having to meet as a family, You can do this within yourself. Yeah? So, and there are these 4 words. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And so, we have many things from our ancestors. Yeah? So what she said is that if you have a problem, yeah, you didn't cause it, yeah, it's because of your ancestors, but you've inherited it. But actually you have to take full responsibility for it, 100% responsibility, to clear it, to cleanse it, to erase it. And so she said, if you repeat these words, and you focus on a certain problem, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. You keep repeating these words. What she says is that you will take this kind of negative energy problem away, not just from yourself, but from the other person. Yes? From your ancestors. You will cleanse it, you will clear it. It seems a very simple and a very almost, how can you do this? You work on yourself. If you clear the junk inside yourself, you clear the junk inside other people. So in a family, if there are problems, which because they're inherited, problems, and or you have difficulties with the person you work with, if you say these words, it somehow clears it. And I find this really fascinating. It's hard to get my head around it, yeah? Because these words you also say silently. But there are several books, a lot of books have been written about this, so if people are writing books, it means it works. It works. The power of words to heal. So, she has a prayer that she said before she says these words. So this is the prayer, at least there are 2 versions, this is one version. Divine Creator, Father, Mother, Son as one. If I, my family, relatives and ancestors have offended you, your family, relatives and ancestors, in thoughts, words, deeds and actions, from the beginning of our creation to the present, we ask your forgiveness. Let this cleanse, purify, release, cut all the negative memories, blocks, energies and vibrations, and transmute these unwanted energies into pure light. And it is done. And it's suggested you say this at least 3 times. And then when you've said that, then you'll say the words, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And again, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So, I think these are like... These 4 words or phrases have a lot of power. I think, of course, love has the highest vibration. So if you say, who are you talking to, by the way, when you're saying this? It's like you're talking to God. They say here, talking to the divine. Yes? But if you say, I love you, you keep saying, I love you, it has a lot of... it connects you to something very high. And if you say, thank you is like the bridge to love. Thank you is, you could say, is the ultimate state of receivership. It's like saying thank you before you even receive it. But when I say thank you to the teachers in my school, they feel it. I mean it. I don't just say it, but they feel it. They appreciate it. Actually, to say to someone, I love you, is not so easy to just say that because it's quite a deep word. But if you really mean it, that person feels that. I'm sorry is like saying, I'm sorry for whatever my ancestors have done that's caused this to be in my life. Because if there's a problem in my life, now I have a problem, the idea is to say, well, if it's inside of me, if it's around me, then I'm responsible for it. I'm responsible to clear it. So I'm sorry is like saying, I repent. I repent. And if you read Father's words, he says that in a life of faith, repentance is absolutely essential. To clear things out. To say, yeah, I am a sinner, or I am I've made mistakes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When I was a child, saying sorry was very important. But When I came to Sweden, it seemed to me, and maybe I got this wrong, that people say, oh, if you say sorry, it's just words. Whereas I learned saying sorry is very important, because if you don't say sorry, things are not cleared up. They're not resolved. You're not accepting responsibility for what you did. Of course, with all these words, if you just say them without any feeling and sincerity, you could say, well, they don't count for much. But I think saying sorry is very, very important. It clears things. It clears the air. If I've made a mistake and hurt somebody and I say sorry, they feel a lot better. And then, please forgive me. Please forgive me. Yeah? Forgiveness is also a very powerful energy, to forgive, to let go. Resentment, we know, is poison for the spirit. But to forgive someone releases yourself, not just them. And to say, forgive myself, it's important to forgive yourself for the things you've done wrong, rather than always thinking, oh, I did this wrong, I'm not good enough, and I really hurt that person, I feel guilty. We have to forgive, and we have to let go. So this is all about healing and letting go. So I'd like to end with this little poem, which is one of my favourite poems. Be careful with your thoughts, for your thoughts become words. Be careful with your words, for your words become your actions. Be careful with your actions, for your actions become your habits. Be careful with your habits, for your habits become your character. Be careful with your character, for your character becomes your destiny. And with that, I'd like to finish. Thank you very much.